Hi YouTube family, Lisa A. Romano here, the Breakthrough Life Coach, and today I want to talk about mental toughness, how we codependents and those of us who have come from dysfunctional homes, who are now adults, who have found ourselves in some difficult, to say the least, experiences, who are also, and quite possibly could be, empaths, who have tremendous empathy and compassion for other people, but tend to discover that we end up in relationships that have us feeling like we don't exist, like we don't matter. So my theory is that from the ages of 0 to 12, we have these templates that are built in our minds about ourselves, about other people, about love, about the earth, about the planet, about our religions. And these templates become the foundation or the blueprint for the rest of our lives. So if in my reality as a child, I was taught to shut up, I was told I was stupid, I was called a bitch, I was ignored, mommy and daddy fought all the time, if one parent was mentally ill, if one parent was drunk all the time, or let's say I was in foster care, or I was just bounced around a lot by family. So we have to think about, if I want to understand what's going on in my adult life, then I have to figure out what were the templates that were being created and downloaded in me when I was in the process of learning. From 0 to 12, the brain is in the process of learning. So downloading is taking place. So if I want to understand today, then I have to understand what happened yesterday. So often when I start coaching someone, I'll say, okay, so tell me about the kinds of experiences you had in childhood. Tell me about how you perceived your mom. And every once in a while, not so much anymore, but when I first started my coaching practice, I had some resistance with people because lots of times they didn't understand, how their relationship with their husband or their relationship with their wife what it had to do with when they were 6, 7, or 8. But over time, people who follow my work and people who are attracted to me as a coach, they've learned to appreciate and respect that certainly my ideas that I learned in childhood have affected why I do what I do today. So I want to say, give another shout out to Mr. Craig. He is the inspiration for this video. He's been the inspiration for 2 of my videos to date. And it is through his encouragement and his insistence during a session that I actually bring a video to y'all today that we title, What About Me? So during our session today, he and I think, had a number of breakthroughs. And the breakthrough I think that hit home for him was when I said to him, well, what about you? How do you fit in this situation? And without going into too many details about what Craig is going through in his own life, what I want to ask those of you who are suffering and who are in relationships with people who are narcissistic, or you're in relationships, or it could be a lover, it could be a spouse, it could be a mom or a sister or a brother or a boss. Well, probably not so much a boss, but on interpersonal relationships, if you find that you are being ignored, that your feelings don't matter, you're attracting narcissistic females, all your friends are narcissistic, like you're surrounded by people who just seem to project this idea that you don't matter. The one thing that I want you to stop and ask yourself is, what about me? So I know in my own life, when I was married to my ex-husband, he would talk a lot about how his family felt, and he would talk a lot about how I should do what he wanted me to do, because if I didn't, it pissed him off, or it pissed his parents off, or whatever. But I should just kind of like shut my mouth, go along with the program, and stop making such a big fuss. So in essence, I was being asked to be invisible, be in this relationship, but just kind of be like a carcass. Don't be real. Don't have a soul. Don't have a mind. Don't have a spirit. Just kind of like show up. Shut up and show up. Keep cooking. Keep watching the kids. Don't forget to do the laundry. And I want steak every Friday night. So In other words, like you know, if you're attracted to this channel, you are either in that type of relationship where you really, who you are doesn't matter. What you think and what you feel doesn't matter. You live as an extension of other people. And if you're codependent, you've been groomed to be codependent. Meaning, if your parents taught you that you were invisible, then that's the way you're showing up in a relationship. It's all about the other person. What can I do for them? How can I make them happy? How can I not rock the boat? How can I anticipate their needs? This is what codependents do. And if you're an empath, then you naturally disassociate from how you feel and really do tend to pay attention to how other people feel. And sometimes it can be completely overwhelming. I know that was my experience. I could tell you how the lady across the way, if there were 100 people in the room, I could tell you what she felt, what she was feeling, what they were talking about, and I didn't want to. I was just inundated with all this information. But thank God I've learned to shield. And that's what I'm trying to teach some of you. So with, my hair is in my face, sorry. So what I want you guys to do is the next time you find yourself in a relationship or in a conversation with someone who's trying to steamroll you, I want you to say out loud, what about me? What about me? How the hell do I feel? Do you care how I feel? You want me to do X, Y, and Z, but you ever stop and ask yourself, well, how does she feel? Or how might she feel? What about me? What about my feelings? You want me to take care of her, but what about how I feel? I don't want to take care of her anymore. It's not my job. You want me to take care of him. That's not my job. That's not my job. You know, and lots of times when we try to end narcissistic relationships, what will happen is the narcissist comes at us with, how dare you? How could you just walk away? You don't really care about me. If you cared, you'd stay. If you cared, you'd do this. If you loved me, you'd do X, Y, and Z. Well, you know what? If you loved me, you wouldn't treat me that way. And if you loved me, you would ask me how I felt. If you loved me, you'd ask me what I need. If you loved me. So the reason I'm doing this video is because I wanted to share that breakthrough moment with you. And, you know, if you want, you can go to the Google Plus community that I have and thank Mr. Craig for offering up his insight today to all of you, which I think is really awesome about the Google Plus community that I have online. Adult children of alcoholics, codependents, and empaths, stuck in the past no more. Because it's where we get to support one another. So just take away from this short little video, you know, maybe 8 minutes long, take away the idea that when you find yourself in a situation where strong personalities are coming at you and they're screaming at you to care about what they think, I want you to just stop for a minute and say, what about me? What about me? What about me? Have you ever thought about how I feel? What about how I feel about the way you're speaking to me? What about that? What if I don't want to go there? What if I don't want to do that? What about how I feel about being made responsible for your feelings? What about that? How do I feel about that? So that's the takeaway, dear ones, and I hope this has inspired you. And thank you, Mr. Craig, and congratulations on your journey. You're doing fabulously well, as so many of you are, and it is a blessing and an honor to come into your hearts and your lives. I appreciate the love and the respect and the appreciation so many of you send me every day in emails and in YouTube comments. You can reach me at www.healingselfesteem.com. Please sign up for my free newsletter. I will be having another teleclass in October, and we are taking my It's Not You, It's Programming on the road come 2016. I will see you soon. In love and light, dear ones. Bye.